Hello, welcome. I thought I'd put together a little lesson, a little piano lesson. This is geared towards someone who maybe has never touched the piano before, doesn't know anything about piano, and I'm hoping to get something just rolling, not with too much theory. You can just, without really knowing what you're doing, just sound sophisticated, have some fun with some improvisation. That's my main mode of playing. I like just to make stuff up. You know, it's fun. It's fun to just go to a piano and just tinkle around a little bit. So what we'll do is we'll start with the left hand. If we just look at the bottom note of what I'm playing in the left hand, it's going to go F, E, D, C. So F is next to these three black notes, and then it's just going to go down. And on top of that, we're going to C. Sometimes people struggle with getting four fingers. Might cause a little bit of strain. So see how you go with it. An easier version to start with, if you're struggling with that, is to just play what's called an F major chord, which is just to omit this E. And same thing with all these chords, you can just go down like that. Alright, so judge where you're at. This will sound a bit more jazzy if you can manage it. Alright, so once you've got that pattern down in the left hand, in the right hand, we're going to use 5 notes, which is called the C major pentatonic scale. A lot of words, but essentially you're just going to hit C, D, E, G, and A. Anywhere on the piano, but for now we're going to stick in one position, which is this. You're going to have each finger resting on a separate note. So basically everything but F and B. And without any rhythm or anything, we're just going to see if we can play the left hand and then play a bunch of right hand notes. Try it a few times. Again, don't worry too much about rhythm, just play the left hand, play the right hand. Okay, so apart from that, keep your hand in one spot. The next step would be to see if you can get out of this position and sort of navigate up and down the piano. Okay, so you want to sort of play the chord. Just try and locate those notes up and down the piano. Should hopefully eventually become like second nature to avoid this B and this F. Now they won't sound bad if you hit them. These ones are always stable. They will always work. These ones, they will work, but you'll sort of hear sometimes they're a bit more dissonant. Alright, so once you've got that down, we're going to try and add rhythm now. So most of the time, we're going to be in what's called 4/4, which just means 4 beats to a bar. Which means you're going to play that for 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on down to C. So that's what's going on the left hand. In the right hand, we're going to keep this same position. We won't move out of it yet. We're just going to play up and down every beat. So this is every 4 beats. This is going to be every beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 2. You can do it. See if you can just do random notes. You leave some gaps. Okay, you can add some quicker notes. 1, 2, and 3. once you've got that down, now see if you can move up and down the piano. Okay, so you're going to avoid the F and the B. All right, and I guess the main thing to look at, don't be too rigid with this. You know, you'll see me sort of, you know, being a little bit laxed with how my fingering is. I'm not that traditionally trained. So usually you want to be tucking under the third finger, sometimes the fourth finger, second finger. I guess the only one that you want to avoid doing is that fifth finger, because it's just a bit awkward. So however you want, you know, don't get too caught up on technique at the moment. You're just trying to work up and down. Again, every beat to start with, but if you feel like you can, or you're sort of, I don't know what this movement is. If you feel in the rhythm of it, feel free to experiment with it. You don't need to hit every beat. Okay, so we're going to start with this. You can hit more random notes. You just want to get the breadth of the piano. All right, so step one is just getting every beat. Step two would be to use the whole piano. We want to see if we can locate those keys up and down the piano. Also, if you have a metronome, or you can look on YouTube for a backing track, it's always good to practice, especially if you're doing something with a beat, with some rhythm, then always good to use something to help that process. You can download a free metronome app off the App Store, but it's worth it. It does help. Another thing I would say is to try and go with the flow, as cliche as that sounds. If you make a mistake, I see a lot of students immediately taking their hands off the piano and resetting. As much as you can, see if you can roll with the mistake and just keep going. Okay? It's a pretty important skill. Obviously, if it's too overwhelming and you know you're completely out of it, your mind's not there, just reset, take another bar, and then jump back in. As much as you can, I would encourage. I would encourage, if you make a mistake, just keep playing. All right. So next thing on the agenda is to do a specific rhythm. Just a quick rundown of the type of beats. You've got worth one beat. Again, there's a little symbol for that. You've got two beats. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You've obviously got 3 beats and 4 beats. And you've got half a beat. So how you'd count this is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So a mixture is the best that we can get. So I'd encourage you to create your own rhythm. For now, we're just going to try with something simple. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it's one difference is that last note, which you hold for 2 beats. One thing I would say is every time you add a new layer of complexity, try and remove all the other variables. So if you're trying to do a specific rhythm, maybe don't use the whole piano to start with. Maybe just stick in one position, try that rhythm until you get it, then start doing the rhythm up and down the piano. So again, you need to sort of judge if you're finding it too hard, take away some variables. If you're finding it too easy, add one. So we're going to try another example of a rhythm. We're just going to go like this. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, once you've created your own rhythm, write it down, see if you can do it. Let's add some left hand variation. So we've added some right hand variation by using the whole piano, doing specific rhythms. Let's see if we can do the same thing with the left hand. So we've got these chords. How we play them is completely up to us. So maybe we play them every 2 beats instead of 4 beats. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so try that a few times, just doubling the amount you're hitting them. Maybe it's every beat. Maybe it's on beat 1 and beat 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's many different patterns in the left hand. Experiment, as I was doing there. I was adding the whole chord at the end. Maybe I want to combine the two. Maybe I just want to go. Maybe on the last one. Maybe I just want to switch it up for the last one. So you don't even need to keep the same pattern for every chord. You can change it. Maybe, every 2 bars you change the pattern. So again, make your own patterns, get creative with it. There's really no limit to how you can play a chord. You might notice every now and then, just out of sheer habit, I'm trilling off this E flat note. Again, there's a bit of theory behind it, but just know that it sounds pretty cool. Okay, so give it a go. And these little things like that, just 2 and the 3 finger. Mostly that's going to be those fingers for me that's doing that. Trill up, trill down. Always sounds good. A bit more bluesy, I suppose. Another thing you can do is add a little passing chord. Again, I won't go into the theory, but I'll show it. Alright, so what we did is on beat 4, everything went down 1. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Just sliding down. It makes a little difference. Makes it sound a little bit extra, I suppose. Anything else? Oh yeah, you could do this pattern. You could be like, this might take a little bit more awareness, but you could go hit the chord down there, up there. So you go. And so on and so forth. So that might take a bit more awareness, but really good for navigating around the piano. These are pretty common movements. So you can get used to them. It's real good. Now that thing I did in the intro, I might save for another video because it's a little bit more advanced, stepping into territory that might require a little bit more understanding of how the chords work together. But I thrive on questions, so please let me know if there's anything you'd like me to explain more, or whether you'd like another video to break down this bridge. So eventually you want to try and merge some of these skills together. Again, the first process is to sort of isolate a particular thing you're trying to work on against everything else. And then you want to try and mix and match. Eventually you will get to a place where you can just sort of feel it out. You're not thinking about the beats. When I'm playing, I'm not thinking about what specific rhythm I'm going to play. These are more things that get ingrained, and then they'll just become a part of your your movement. So yeah, eventually you just want to try and mix and match and just let it flow. Use your intuition once you've got the basics of navigating around the piano and your finger strength, all that sort of stuff. Just see if you can let it go and just feel a bit free with it. So we'll end with a progression. Please, any questions or advice that you need, or elaborations, or even knowing how to put a little bridge together with this, I'm more than happy to answer them. So thank you for watching.